Welcome along to Nailtopia, Inside with the Insiders. I'm Rachel. In this podcast, we're going to talk to some of the nail industry's biggest and brightest. But I want to get to know the real them. I want to know their real stories. So come with me as we take a peek behind the curtain. So today I'm talking to Sam Biddle. Sam,
Hi.
I'm so excited. Tell me all about yourself and how you got into the industry.
Hi there, Rachel. Okay. So my name's Sam Biddle, and I actually started late in the industry. It wasn't a childhood, leaving school, go to college. I didn't do it until I was around, 30 something. So it was quite late, in some respects, because I did it because I just loved nail art, and it was an accident. And I was part of a family business. We used to be a pottery. We sold it because my dad left, and all of this thing. So my parents divorced when I was 29, which actually I think is harder than if you're a child.
Yes.
Because you feel like, how long has that been a life? Or
Yeah.
If you're going to get a divorce, get it while their children are young. Don't lie to your children, kind of thing. So I just loved nail art, and the plan wasn't to work and be at home with the children. I'd always worked, in the family business with the kids, but I don't know, I was bored then. I'm a businesswoman at heart. Yeah. So I was doing all my nice nail art, and then I was like, some people were saying, could you do my nails? And I thought, well, I'll get all of this trade. So I phoned up United Beauty Products at the time. Do you remember Star Nails?
Yeah, Star Nails was where I started.
Yeah, everybody starts at Star Nails. And I phoned the company up, and they said, no, you have to have a license,
qualification. Yeah.
Go on this course. And so I went on the course, which cost me £1,000 or whatever it was, a complete course for silk, acrylic, and gel. I spent £3,000 on products and big containers so that was terrible. And then I then had all of this stuff, and I needed to practice, and it just all fell into place, and I became a nail technician. But really, I just wanted to be a nail artist. I didn't know what that was at the time. I just wanted cheap nail products so that I could do nail art on my friends. And I ended up being a nail technician. And then obviously the rest was all, education, and that you follow a little path, don't you?
So how has it progressed to what you do now then? How did you decide? There's so many routes you can take, isn't there? So many divergent paths when it comes to the nail industry. How did you start down that path?
I think I will say, and it's not a secret, I'm not a nail technician by heart. I like people art, and but I don't particularly like nails or nail application. And I did the whole be an educator, teach beginner courses, and I did love that, and I absolutely love seeing the growth of things. But the educator part of it was because I didn't like the application process. I didn't like being a nail technician in a salon, which I had a salon, and I didn't like, it wasn't fulfilling me. And I've always wanted to teach. My whole family teaches, and it's just, I think that was right. There was an advert for Easy Flow, which is the product I used, and they were looking for educators. I'm like, I'll do that job. It's fine. I'll do that. Yeah, that cost me a lot of money to do. They, be an educator for us, but pay.
Yes.
Okay. So that was sort of how I got, involved with Anthony, and we went down that route, and then the doors open for you when you start investing in your education. Doors open for you, and I think that's the key. You might say, I want to be there, but you can't just magically get there.
No.
You've got to take a step in that direction and go, okay, I want to be there. What do I need to do to get there? Okay, I need to learn this. And then this might be noticed by somebody who says, oh my gosh, actually, let me get in touch with Sam because she knows about this. and that might take me here, and then it might take me here, and I might get to but I'll tell you, this job I do today, this business I have today wasn't the idea I had when I was sat in my salon when I joined EasyFlow. I didn't know. No, I made this. This is a new job.
Yes.
This wasn't a job that I thought of. I didn't even know when I actually phoned up. I remember the company now. When I phoned up the distributor and said, "Oh, I want to be an educator for you," I didn't even know about being a global or an international educator for you. I didn't know any of that. I didn't have a clue. All I knew was I wanted a front cover and I wanted to be an educator.
It's a big dream. Yeah. I talked to Lisa Smith and she said her when she was younger, she wanted to do makeup, but not pretty girl makeup. She wanted to do Doctor Who gore, and she wanted to do it on the BBC, and that was her pinnacle. And obviously, even though she never got there, and this is something I've found with a lot of people, they have a fixed idea of where they want to go and then end up somewhere else, and it's actually better.
Yes, always.
Yeah, as long as you follow your heart, I find.
As long as you have somewhere to go. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter, your end result might not be the one that you had when you were 30.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do what I wanted to do when I was 30. I don't want to do that today.
Yeah.
My body's different, and my mind's different, my experiences are different, and every step that I took has shown me. My husband is the prime example. He retrained at around 30. I believe at 30 people do kind of change their things, but he retrained at 30, and he wanted to be an ambulance person, an ambulance what do you call them, an ambulance crew.
Yeah.
So he thought, what do I need to do? I need to do some qualifications. So he redid his English and his maths, and he then did an interim course to get the university points. And then he thought, well, let me get some experience. So he became a healthcare worker in theatres, because that was the job that was going. I'll get some experience so they'll pick me, because at the time it was very hard to get into the ambulance service. So then he's in theatres, and they're like, don't be an ambulance crew, do this job, be an ODP. You can train the ambulance crew if you're an ODP.
Oh well, yeah.
And we need you because we can see how good you are. So then he then became a theatre practitioner, and he now does anaesthetics, and then he now
it's amazing, isn't it, how you just
so he is
following a path. And
but he wanted to be in the ambulance service.
Yeah. Did he just want to be able to drive fast?
He wanted to be a medical person, but he didn't want to be a doctor. So the only thing he knew was an ambulance person, because a nurse he didn't want to be either. Yeah.
Sometimes I think in all careers, and especially within the nail industry, you think that there is only certain roles you can take within the nail industry, either a salon owner, a desk, tech, a salon manager, and then you're like educator is another track you can take, but then you don't realize all the offshoots of the educator track you can take, brand ambassadors. And I think for somebody that's just coming into the industry, doesn't realize how vast an industry it actually is, how many roles out there that are very niche and very particular to certain skills. And it does fascinate me. The more people I talk to and the more roles I find out that are out there, the beauty of the nail industry is if you have a niche, you can create a role for yourself that suits your everyday needs. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I think it does. But I was very fortunate to be able to be part of EasyFlow before it changed. And, I was very fortunate to be able to travel. And then from there, I was invited to be an Orly ambassador. And again, I had all of that, experience traveling the world and teaching people. And then it gave me the confidence to travel and do my own courses. And, all of those things allowed me to build a following and to build the experience that gives me the confidence to deliver courses and help other people deliver courses. That's ultimately where we're going. That's where ultimately where my business is going, but that's where I want to go. I don't necessarily I don't necessarily or can't travel so much anymore. Well, hey,
nobody can.
But, I can't always travel like I used to travel. I can't, sometimes I was home for 3 days in a month. So, very exciting, but it's not.
It has an impact on your personal life, doesn't it? When you live a lifestyle like that, it starts to fray the edges.
Definitely. And with the children and things like that, but it was needs must at the time.
Yeah.
And now I have different priorities, and I have a different focus. And without that sacrifice, because traveling was a sacrifice. Without that sacrifice, I wouldn't be able to be where I am doing what I do today.
Exactly.
So it's worth taking the leap.
Yes.
It's worth taking that step towards it. It doesn't matter if it's a small step. It might seem so far away, but you need to, put the money in the machine.
Yeah, you need to play the game. You need to you need to put some skin in the game, don't you, if you're going to win the trophy. So trophies, let's talk about your views on awards and competitions. I know you have, I bet you have some great insights. Do you think it's important to enter awards? Do you think it's important for techs to have, or are they just?
Okay, so I've got a conflict of opinion here, because I am a judge.
Yes.
And I do believe in certain competition.
Yes.
But what I would say to a nail technician that wants to enter a competition is, why do you want to enter? So there are different reasons people want to enter. One, for personal accolade, and for that self-assurance. I'm good because other people have told me I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. Then is not a good reason for you to enter a competition. So if you enter a competition, you must understand why you enter a competition and the value that competition brings you. So you're entering the salon competition and winning means it's valuable to you because of a marketing opportunity.
Yes.
So your clients will see, it doesn't matter what competition it is, whether it is a competition where 2 people entered or whether it's a big, huge international competition, makes no difference to your clients. They see you with a trophy saying best salon award of whatever, the national award of whatever. So from a marketing point of view, you're like, okay, this is savvy. This is worth the effort. This doesn't tell me that I'm great, because who are these judges to tell me that I'm good?
Yeah.
Who tells me that I'm good? So most of the time competitions.
I know what you're going to say.
They're there for a few reasons.
Yeah.
You've got competitions that are there for the good of the industry.
Yes.
Big competitions like Nail Olympia, they're good for the good of the industry, and they are a valuable competition because it means they are in a way a stepping stone for people that win.
Yes.
You on the back of winning can do things, or people recognize you, brands recognize you, you could get work from that, but you're not going to get a good return from the investment that you make. So why would you enter a competition like that?
Yes.
Because you could gain from the judges' feedback.
Yes.
You could gain from the learning, especially when you go and you're there in-house, from watching and doing and being part of it. You learn an awful lot about what you do. But when you're entering competitions for competition's sake, because it gives you an award, why are you doing that? You've got to ask yourself why you're doing that. Are you doing that because all of these awards make me look good, therefore people will notice me and then I'll get extra work? Then it's worth doing, because there has to be a return on your investment, and your investment is that effort you put in. If you're doing it because you don't feel good about yourself and you need somebody else to tell you you're good, that is not good. That's not good for your self-esteem.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to tell you. Because look at the judges. Who are those judges?
Yeah.
Who are they?
And you see a lot of these competitions where you don't know who the judges are. It's a board. You submit evidence, and you don't know the names of the judges, you don't know what their qualifications are, what their reason for judging is. But then there are the awards like you say, that you know the names of the judges, you know what their speciality subjects are, and they give feedback on
and it's a requirement. I mean, you'll have certain competitions where the judges are chosen because they sponsor the competition.
Yeah.
But they have no competition or competing experience. They have no judging experience. And when they're judging, they don't necessarily know what they're looking for. I mean, I'm not saying this from all judges. I mean, if somebody said to me, oh, will you judge a pink and white? Now, I can do a pretty good pink and white.
Yeah.
But I'm going to judge a pink and white. Why would I do that? My speciality isn't pink and white.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm looking for. I mean, unless it's, I don't know, I've been certainly with Orly, we are sent to places and then we're at a show and they say, oh, there's an Orly ambassador, we'll have them judge. And I'm in a country, I don't know the country, and then all of a sudden I'm presented with these nails.
Yes.
I have to judge, and it's not my speciality. Unfortunately, that is what happens.
Yeah.
Judges are not paid. The investment is, I believe, for me, I judge because it's a give back thing. I've been given so much within this industry. I was given so much throughout, my road up, and people judged for me. It's a way for me to give back.
Yeah.
But they're not paid.
No.
So if I'm busy and I've been asked to judge, I'm taking that time away from my business for free.
Yes.
So what if it's not a good day for me?
Yeah. You do. I mean, as people entering competitions, we don't think of that. We don't think of the time and the effort that the judges are putting in to share their constructive criticism with you. And I was talking to Katie Barnes about she basically broke down everything about a competition, how you gain your points, etc. She went through it all with me, and I was like, wow, because I've never competed in that kind of competition before, and it was fascinating to me how intricate it was, and she was explaining, and blah blah blah, and it never occurred to me when she was explaining all that actually those, she said sometimes 5 judges, that there were 5 people there giving of their time to give back constructive criticism with nothing in return other than they are trying to give back to the texts that are competing, so hopefully so that the next time they compete they're better and better and better. And I find that fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, there's some competitions we judge for, or I've judged for, that it's a blind judge. Nobody knows. I get nothing from it. I don't get any promotion from it.
No.
Nobody knows that I've judged that competition. And, so it is a give back for judges. So as a competitor, so if I come in now with advice to a competitor about entering 1,001 competitions, choose your competition wisely, because you are going to take a lot of emotional heartache, worrying, wondering, am I good enough? And, I want to win. Why do you want to win? What is it going to give you? Is it going to help your business? Is it going to be financially beneficial? Are you wanting to take a step up the ladder? Do you want people to notice you? If there are yeses to those, then it's worth doing. But if it's just because you need somebody to tell you you're good enough, pay for a one-to-one or a consult with somebody and say, hey, have a look at my nails. Can you help me?
Oh, what a good idea.
For that. That will give you more value than entering a competition. And then also look at the competitions. If you have to pay a shitload of money to enter, you want to know who your judges are. Don't just enter the one thing that's happened over COVID is there's a lot of people that have pulled up competitions. It does make good business to do a competition. It does make good business. So, they're like, hey, enter my competition. It's £45 an entry and it's an online competition. Okay. As a judge, an online competition, I don't mind it because I don't have to travel anywhere, but I don't get to really see the nails.
Yeah.
So
have a feel and see the texture, and
especially if the image quality is rubbish.
Yeah.
If the image quality is no good, how am I going to judge it? So it's that. So But you need to think like a businesswoman when you're doing competing, and when you're when you're competing, and when you're entering any of these things. Think strategically.
Yeah, I think that's important, isn't it? That you've got, like you said before, you ask yourself that question. Think strategically. What is my reasoning for doing it? Very good advice. Very good advice. I told you before we started that one of the things I ask is your childhood dream, what you wanted to be growing up.
So I had two.
Okay.
The earliest one was I wanted to be a teacher.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I know, weird.
Full circle.
But and the reason why I wanted to be a teacher was because at primary school, I had a teacher that had long hair, like all the way down to her bottom. And I wanted to be her with long hair.
Yeah.
Like that's all I wanted. There was no other reason to be a teacher. I just wanted to be
so you could have long hair.
Her, so that I could have long hair. And I didn't realize, obviously I was at primary school, but you know, my grandfather was a teacher, my uncle's a teacher, there's teaching. Now my daughter's now a teacher. So we are a teaching family.
Yes.
So it was obviously in my blood, but I also wanted to be a spy.
Wow.
I wanted to be a, like, well, now I'd say a covert operative, but yes. I wanted to be a spy.
Yeah.
Like I was going to join the police and then join MI5. Like that
would have been.
But
that's brilliant for nosy people like me. Like, you know.
my this was teenagery, like you know, 12, 14. But my dad actually was he wasn't a spy, but he was in the intelligence service.
Oh wow!
In the army, and I mean he's like long since retired and stuff.
Are you sure? Is he not just leading a double life like the guy from Meet the Fockers?
He's like 80 now. He's like, well, no, he's not. If he's listening to this, but he was. He said no. He said, "You don't want to do that."
You're not.
Well, he didn't say no, but at the time, he didn't really know that that's what I wanted. But I would. At the time, I really wanted to do it, and I was, you know, when you suss people out, like you ask questions without them knowing what it. That's what I sort of was doing.
We think we are when we're asking our parents questions covertly, but actually they're like, "I know what you're doing."
But you know, I met my husband at school, and you know, there was that whole, if I did this, I knew I was going to marry him. You know, I met him when I was I was about 15.
Oh.
So I sort of knew, you know, and it was that whole, if I go down this route, this won't happen kind of thing. So it didn't want it enough.
You didn't want it to know. Oh.
So I did. And do you know what? I've been self-employed ever since. Since I was 16, I was self-employed. I've never, ever had a job. I've had the odd job where I've worked. I used to be a temp for ICI. Yeah. So I used to be a temp for ICI and little jobs like that. But I've always otherwise been self-employed. I've never... John says I am unemployable.
Do you know, my husband says the same thing about me, because I've been self-employed since I was 17. Again, lots of little jobs here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you can't. If you went and had a job, you would run that company. Whatever job you have, they just don't do it right.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's not that I would end up running the company. I just get so bored of people telling me what to do. I can't be told what to do. No, I don't do that.
That's what my dad used to say. He says you've got an issue with authority.
Yes.
He says you just wouldn't. And because the route would have been police, which funnily enough, my son is in the police force.
Oh, well.
Now, but the route would have been police. And then I would have worked my way up to, I did consider joining the army and doing it that way, but
that's a lot of people telling you what to do then, isn't it? In a very stern
and
voice.
I think that was always the answer from my dad, was that no one would be able to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
You don't deal with authority very well.
Court-martialed for telling your commanding officer to off. Yeah. So I'm wondering, so if the nail industry didn't exist tomorrow, what would you do now? What would you choose to do now if you had to take a different track?
I'm trying to do it now already. I know. My business is brilliant and I've got an amazing team. So, you know, I want to be able to just hop in and do my courses and be here, but my team to run the business. So I would be a professional artist. You know, that's what I would be. Whether, you know, I suppose in a way I am a professional artist. Yes. I do sell my paintings, but I wish I had more time to put into that side of the business. But yeah, I think that's what I would do. Whether I would go and teach art as well, you know, do exactly what I've done with Be Inspired, but with Art by Samantha. But I think if I, and do you want to hear my dream?
Yes, I do. I really do.
So we would have a camper van or a caravan, and then John's an author, so his day job is like mine. He's got a day job. He's an ODP by day and he's an author by night, and I'm an artist by night, and I'm a course provider in the day. And we would tour England, go to agricultural shows, because I've got you know, paintings that I would sell at the agricultural shows, and then we would art and write wherever.
Do you know what? That sounds amazing to me. I can't draw for toffee. I do like to write, but I'm not very good at it. But that to me sounds like an absolute dream. I mean, wow, just touring around in a camper. This country is so beautiful, isn't it? We don't actually take advantage of how beautiful it is.
No, absolutely. No, we're not leaving the country this year at all. And we're just going to put all our money back into England. And, you know, why would you leave here? There is and we live in a beautiful part of the country. So, I mean, we don't have a caravan or a camper van yet, but that's our thing. And then in the summer, we'd probably go to, the winter, we'd go to Europe. But we would and it would be a kitted out caravan. I love my tech. Like, I love it. So I would have a fold down desk, and, you know, I do everything. So,
one of those American RVs where the side comes out and it's as big as an actual house.
I know, it would be nice, but Dorset, I don't think cater for RVs.
The roads are not built for RVs, are they?
But we want to travel. I mean, we're now in our 50s, and we want to be able to do that. And I love being inspired online. Like, it is a job that I love doing, and I would never stop it. But it's a job that the part of the job that I love doing is teaching, and that's what I want to keep doing. That I want to keep doing that, and then I can, Ethan and Erin, they can do the other stuff which they're doing brilliantly. So that's the plan.
Yes.
Whether it comes to fruition or not, I mean, I'm never going to leave, but
sounds amazing to me.
It's just, that's what I would do. If there was no nail industry, I would do art, and I would focus all of what I've learned with business and marketing. I'd focus that into art. That's what I would do.
That's amazing. So what's the future for Be Inspired now the nail industry isn't ending?
Well, you know, one of the things that COVID has taught me is that, you know, we all have to pivot at some point in our business. And my business has pivoted because of my health into online courses. You know, I've been doing that for over 6 years now, and it's evolved and grown, and I've invested heavily into my platform. I built my own platform. You know, I know tech well. But the last year, I've seen so many nail technicians or educators want to pivot their business because they've had to. And for the future of Be Inspired Online, I want to provide a place for other educators. I'm never going to stop providing courses, but other educators can provide those courses as well.
Yes.
You know, I think that's equally as important. And I love working with them. So my role as an educator isn't so much now as an educator for the students, it's an educator for the educators. Whereas I can teach them how to put courses together, how to market their courses. I can give them a home for their courses. And we've also now just launched the monthly masterclass, which is a place for the educators to actually then, we've got 13 hours and 30 days, which is a collaboration of 5 educators that come together and produce great content. So people get to know who they are at an affordable price. And then the monthly masterclasses is a little more involved mini course that students can actually get great content and education for a stupid price, but they get access to the educator. Every month there's a new educator. And
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm really excited by that because one, it gives the educators a platform, and I can help them. I'm whether it's 2 different educators a month, or whether it's me and another educator, which means I get to keep my hand in stuff, I like it. We have a feedback session, and we have marketing masterclass as well. So we have all of this. So it's about learning business, it's about learning marketing, but it's about learning nails, nail art, nail application, e-file, everything. Like, there's so many different things we've got planned.
I don't think anybody that's not in the nail industry understands how much is actually involved. Like you said there, it's not just about being able to do a really good set of nails or a really pretty set of nails. You have to know marketing, you have to know business strategy, you have to know. And the lady that's doing the podcast doesn't know how to use technology properly.
You'll learn.
And is basically winging it. And I don't know how to use Insta properly. And I keep saying to myself, right, I am going to put some time aside this summer, and I'm going to do proper courses on proper marketing, proper business strategy, and something like what you've just explained there, that for a tech to be able to have access to education for everything you will need, you will need to be successful in the nail industry is definitely what's needed, because we go into this with our qualification. Look, I can do nails, I can do acrylic, I can do gel, I can do silk, and back in my day, fiberglass. We learned fiberglass.
That's how I learned silk. Yeah.
Like with fiberglass, really? But nobody sat you down and said, I mean, back then, like 24 years ago, there was no Facebook, there was no Insta. But at no point during my career until very recently has anybody said it would really benefit your business if. My husband's been saying to me for years, get a website. And I'm like, there's no need to get a website. There's absolutely no need for a website. And there really was a need for a website. Obviously with the other things I've developed into, the trade shows and the parties I'm going to start putting on for nail techs to come together, and the other things I plan on doing in the future, I need to be able to now get that. And it doesn't matter what aspect, how small or how big a nail business you have, one of the fundamentals is being able to get the marketing right.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you explained to me earlier, not everybody knows what a podcast is.
No.
And that actually what I need to be doing is explaining, before I'm saying, here's my podcast, listen to it. I need to be saying to them, this is what a podcast is, and this is why you should be listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
And once they realize that they can't live without podcasts, then they're going to be listening to my podcast. Sure. That's such simple advice you gave me earlier. And it was like, it was literally like the top of my head blew off, and I was like, of course, it's so simple. So this what you're doing there is giving them the whole, and a lot of people say, oh, I just can't afford that kind of education. But like you're saying,
it's £20 a month. So it's like an online subscription box.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing.
They are so big, subscription boxes as well, aren't they? So
yeah. And it literally is an online subscription box where I subscribe to a makeup subscription box, and I love it once a month, and I only get 4 items. And I get to try this, and then I'll buy. There's a Percy and something hair products that I buy now because of the subscription box. Yeah. And that's the whole the concept is the fact that we've got Paula Spencer this month, and I think we've got Melanie Lewinda next month. But Paula Spencer, people may not be able to afford her other courses, or they want to, but they don't know if they like her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a case of, well, okay, it's $9.99 for this month. Let me try her out.
Yeah.
Let me taste her.
Yeah.
Or this little mini, she's put together a bespoke course for this. and it's something that you can learn, but you can see if you like her style, and then you actually get a discount off the big course as well.
Well,
so you get
it's a no-brainer then, isn't it?
Yeah, you get discounts on products. But tomorrow we've got the live on. I do a live screen share, and we're going to go and build a video story on Canva, so people can build the story with me. So then they put it on Insta, so a story for Insta, but it's a video story. So we build that up and go through the process: why, what, where, and how. And we just do that, and I showed them how to do it. The video is always there, and they can watch it whenever they want, and whenever they need to do it again, and I'm doing it with them. So that sort of thing, and then every month they get something else that they can add to their little,
and they can always go back and revisit if they've missed something.
Lifetime access. Even if they stop the subscription, they get to keep those masterclasses. So the masterclasses are essentially £10 each for a subscriber. So and
we've all paid more for less, haven't we?
Exactly. But the concept really isn't so much I'm learning a course, or I'm learning a set of nails or a set of designs. I'm learning a technique. I'm not learning, I'm seeing if I like alcohol inks. That's one of my first course. I'm seeing if I like alcohol inks, and it's like a beginning, middle, and end to the course. 3 lessons. You can do it in a day. I like that. Oh, I'm going to go and get the bigger one, because then I can do, I don't know, swans and foxes and people and horses and like that. So I can do that on the bigger course. I fancy that.
See, that's for me the thing, like you said there with the alcohol inks. I've never, because I look at the videos alcohol inks and think, oh no, not for me. That's too complicated for me, and I don't want to pay for a whole course on alcohol inks.
I haven't got time for that.
I haven't got time for that. I haven't got the money for that. Would it be useful in my salon? Would anybody have it? But if you've got those small little, I suppose it's like walking around a shopping centre and they're handing out little bits of food, and you're like, okay, I don't think I like cinnamon buns. Oh, I really like cinnamon buns. I'm going to go and buy a giant bag of cinnamon buns.
Yes, it's exactly that. It is exactly that. Because and what value, I mean, it's going back to the competition. What value does alcohol inks put into my salon? Why would I even do that? Why do I want to invest in those? Oh, well, this will tell you why, and where you fit in with it. Because any course that you do, okay, think about this. When you do a course, you are learning what the educator has already learned, okay? So you've got to figure out where you fit in to that. So a good educator will give you plenty of options. Educator, maybe that's not seasoned, will tell you, this is how I do it.
Yes.
This is how I do it. Copy me. Copy my design. So you put a line here, you put the color next to the line, and you top coat it. That's how I do it. So that isn't a course. What that is a reel or a TikTok or a YouTube video. A course is something that is, I'm so getting into trouble for this. A course is something that will go, right, these are the 3 or 4 different ways you can do it, and this is why you do each of these different ways. You decide which one you like, and then you go on and do it. And then what will happen is that you will then build your skill set and confidence in that section of it, and you'll go, now what else can I do with this?
Yes.
How else can I expand on this? And I can maybe include that and that together and make something brand new.
Well, I totally agree with you there. The idea of education that is just regurgitated, where your educator you ask them a question and they don't have an answer because it's not within the course structure that they're delivering. You want to be finding educators that are going to fuel you, so that actually what as an educator you should be looking for is for your students to surpass you, to have their own ideas, to have the student becomes the master. That's what you're looking for as an educator. You're a successful educator if your student goes on to then be phenomenally successful.
Well, because it's not about me going, who are the most successful educators in the industry? It's about me going, who can translate with, what they're doing for the benefit of the students. What do the students want, not who is a good educator.
And I've talked to so many people over the past few months that I've recorded with, and we've had long conversations about different learning styles. Not every educator suits every learner, because and I've said to somebody before, you can learn a technique over and over from lots of different educators, and then you still can't get it, and then just one day, just the next educator you go to will just use a different word. And it can be as simple as just using a different word. There are some people that like to see it on a whiteboard. It has to be on a whiteboard, it has to be a video, or it has to be completely spoken. Yeah. And like you say, if you've got a program like this where each time there's a different educator, you may not have picked it up from one person, but the next person you're going to go, got it.
For sure.
And like you say, if it's not expensive and you are just chipping in every time you can afford, and you're dipping into different areas that interest you or that you think you might be interested in but aren't sure about, it's less scary than investing in a lot of education.
Yeah, and you are it's stepping stones. It's what we were talking about right at the beginning. It's that stepping stone in the right direction, because you will then go, you know what, I love this. I love education, which is why I'm doing my job.
Yes.
If I loved travel, I might be doing a different kind of job.
Yeah.
If I liked being with clients,
I'd be at my desk all day.
I might have 10,000 salons. So you have these stepping stones and you choose the right thing. And that's what I want to do with the monthly masterclass. I want to give educators an opportunity to shine. And my Inspired Space, it's full of educators now, but they still need to sell their courses. And I want to give students an opportunity to check out different, it's like going into an all-you-can-eat buffet and trying little things. That's basically it. A subscription box that gives you something every single month that makes you a better nail tech. And that is my goal. That's what I see for the industry, and that's how I can build it's how I can build my business so that it helps students, and that's my focus, ultimately, why I do things.
That's amazing. Oh, yes. I was about to say, I'm so inspired, but isn't that the point of being inspired?
That's it. Yeah, I know.
It's almost like you orchestrated it that way.
Oh, well, there you go.
Sometimes the bricks just fall in place, don't they?
You know what? Be Inspired. The name was given to me by a colleague. She's no longer in the industry anymore. She's actually joined the medical profession, but she told me to call my business Be Inspired, because she said, you constantly inspire people. I am always being inspired by you. And we were sat in a hotel room, again traveling, and it was late. We were sharing a bottle of wine, and she said, you should call your business Be Inspired, because that's who you are.
That's a lovely story.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't choose that name.
Yeah, that's better than my origin story for my business. I got mine off The Simpsons.
Did you? What was your name of your?
It's Utopia. My salon's Utopia. And I already knew what it meant, but Marge says it in an episode where she kills zombie Ned Flanders, and I was like, I know what that means, and I like that, so I'm taking it. So when people say, "Where'd you get your name from?" and I said The Simpsons, and they go, "Really?" I already knew it, but it was hearing it said by Marge Simpson that kind of it's amazing, isn't it? Where they come from.
Yeah, it is amazing. It is. So the name was a gift.
And it's so funny, because obviously we talked earlier about off camera about imposter syndrome. It is so fascinating how many people in our industry. And I suppose it's because I only talk really lately. I've been talking to nail technicians and people in the nail industry and educators. I don't really talk to people in other industries, but how prevalent imposter syndrome is amongst modern day business people. How you can look at somebody and you can be like, gosh, they're so confident, they've got it made. There's not, and they're sitting at home going, any minute now. I said it to my husband
Any minute
yesterday.
now, somebody will know that I'm a fraud.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
I
what I
said
mean?
it to my
Yeah.
husband yesterday. Since we came out of lockdown, and I said to him, I wake up every day now with this feeling of dread. 90% of my day, I've got this feeling of looking over my shoulder, thinking, any minute now, someone's going to call up and say, I've caught you out. It's all over. Stop pretending. That everybody feels it.
We all need to go to the toilet to go for a poo. You know, we're all the same people.
Yes.
We have the same issues, and we were born. You know, we're all born and live a life up until the point that we are successful, but we're only ever successful in our own realm.
Yes.
You know, I'm successful, but you know, I'm not as successful as maybe you see me as being successful. You know, that COVID has hit me hard.
Yes.
So what I was doing before COVID, I'm definitely not doing now. You know, it's hit me hard, and I've had to change the way I work and do my business, and I'm so thankful for that. You know, I've had to work harder again to redo it, but I would not be doing the stuff I'm doing today. I wouldn't be doing the monthly masterclass. I wouldn't be doing Inspired Space if I hadn't seen the struggles that the educators were having with their education. That, without me, you know, failing or having a problem during COVID, I wouldn't be doing that. So you know, the imposter syndrome in a way is that constant fear that you will fail, or you are being caught out. You know, you're fighting against it.
It's fight or flight, isn't it? It's an ancient desire in us to, you know.
I could crawl underneath it. Yeah, I could crawl underneath the duvet.
Yeah, like, and just not try.
Not try. Yeah, and I'd be like, fuck it, and everyone would think, oh well, it was COVID.
Yeah.
You know, it's COVID, and no one's buying courses because no one's got any money.
Yeah.
So it's COVID. It's fine. I'm not going to lose faith. It's fine. I'll just go back and work for Orly when everything's back to normal. But that was not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I love my job too much to work in Waitrose.
Yeah. What would be your advice then to somebody that has come through the other side of COVID and their business has altered so dramatically that they think they're now failing and they feel they have to reevaluate? What would be your advice to about trying to get back on track?
Do you like what you do? Do you love what you do? And then what would you do if you didn't? What job would you do if you didn't? Look at what you've got now. Do you like it? Do you like your business? Is it worth fighting for? And if it's worth fighting for, say yes, I'm staying. Because if you do that, you will get given the answer for what you need to do next. But if you spend your time worrying or looking, say for instance you're looking down, and for the purposes of a podcast, I'm looking down on my lap and all I can see is, oh my gosh, I've got no money, oh my gosh, I've got no clients anymore, oh my gosh, I hate my job. You can't see. If I look up now, I cannot see the solution. I can't see the solution because I'm constantly looking at the problem. And if I then go, okay, the problem is that I have no clients, or that all my clients don't want to come back to me. Do I like what I do? Do I want to fight for this? And if I want to fight for this, look up and you will find the solution. You did it once before, you can do it again. But the question you need to ask is, do you want this job? Because if you don't want it, find something else. Truly, this is an opportunity for you to pivot, whether it's pivoting away from the industry, whether it's pivoting into education, whatever it might be, podcasts, you know, you'll find the solution and it will build again. You will, if you are constantly looking forward, the solutions will be presented to you. I truly believe that you must have faith to see.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with that. I'm a big believer in the universe provides. And it's provided for me enough times when I've been really down. I mean, it provided, I was just sitting here watching Hallmark movies and my husband came in and I went, I'm going to do a podcast. He's like, you know nothing about technology. I'm like, I watched a YouTube video. And then like a month later, I'm interviewing Helena Biggs of Scratch magazine. And he's like, you know, I was sitting there in my head down moment, and I just, like you say, I just looked up, and it's just a flash came through my head, remembering a conversation I'd had with a friend in the industry, that I was remembering this conversation and thinking, gosh, he's got a really interesting story. Everybody's got an interesting story. I might find out about those stories. And I think sometimes you have, yes.
So it's that idea would never come to you if you didn't need to do it. So imagine if it was, you had a friend and you're sat there and you're like, shit, what am I going to do? And your friend whispers in your ear, podcast.
Yeah.
Like tell the story of so-and-so.
Yeah.
And your friend is sat there and it's like, oh, I really trust that friend. I'm going to take her advice.
Yeah.
So that friend is
your intuition,
a flash of inspiration, your intuition, your guide, whatever you want to call it. The inner knowing, the answers that you've got within yourself. We have all the answers.
Yeah.
But when we look outside of ourselves, we look on our lap and we go, shit, I have no idea what I'm going to do. This is the problem, and I can't see anything else. You can't hear that voice. You can't hear the truth of yourself.
Yeah, you're drowning it out, aren't you?
You're drowning it out. And I think that would be the one thing. But the first question you ask yourself is, do you want to do this job? Because that's what I ask myself all the time. Do I like my job? No, change it.
Yeah.
Change it.
I think sometimes people put too much emphasis on success being how much money you've made. I mean, I was explaining to you earlier that in 4 weeks, my podcast's been listened to by just under 100 people in 4 weeks.
Brilliant.
And I didn't know whether that was a success. It hasn't made me any money, but I felt very successful. I felt like I had achieved something great.
You've helped 100 people influence their friends by what you've said or what you've provided. And that is amazing.
And for the first time in a very long time, I am passionate about, I wake up in the morning and I'm straight to my phone checking how many views. If it's one view, I'm literally doing a happy dance if it's been listened to once. Amazing.
Yeah, 10 people. You know, I've had courses where I've sold 1,000 places in a week.
Yeah.
And then I've had courses where I've sold 2 in a month. And it doesn't matter, because those 2 people, I've had one person sign up on a course and it's not been a very popular course. They are now educating because of that course. So it does not matter.
Yeah. One
person or 1,000 people, it does not matter.
We've got to stop judging ourselves by what society tells us is success, I suppose. And just, we're successful if we wake up every day and
we're happy. We like our jobs, then we're successful. We love our jobs. We love what we do. I sit and every morning I'm like, I am so abundantly fortunate to have what I have. I have no money in my bank, but I have so much. I have so much, and I have so many people in my life that bring me so much joy. I am far wealthier than fucking Donald Trump or whoever.
I 100% agree. I've spent most of my life just judging my success on the amount of customers that come through my door, the amount of money that's going into my business bank account. And this last year has very much taught me that that's not success.
No.
Waking up in the morning and seeing that overnight I've had 2 views and I'm making a cup of tea with the biggest smile on my face. That's success.
Yeah.
And I feel successful.
Yeah, that's good. And you carry that and hold on to that, because when you have days where you don't feel so successful, remember the days that you do. Because it's not, every day is different, and every day we are challenged, because you'll know that you can do this, and then the universe will go, right, what shall we give her now?
I do have a saying. I regularly go, it wasn't a challenge, universe. When I go, oh, what can go? I wasn't challenging you. Please stop testing me.
Yeah, that's it.
Please stop testing me.
But we're growing every day. We grow, and I do feel very fortunate, and I feel very blessed to be able to speak to you and to be able to speak to everybody that I speak to. I feel so blessed, and I wouldn't leave, because I get so much from that.
Thank you. And thank you for everything you do for the industry. And I can't wait to see what else is to come.
Yeah, I know. I'm very excited actually about the way the business has gone. I mean, it's taken, I've loved every second of my journey, but it's taken a little bit to find what I like to do. You know, the teaching and putting courses on actually brings out more imposter syndrome than helping educators do their courses. Because I can say, oh, don't worry about that, you're brilliant.
Yes, exactly.
Just do it. Just hurry up and put it on. So
you can take your responsibility out of it.
Yeah, in a way, but it gives me a breathing space to be able to do what I like the alcohol inks course that's just been released. You know, it's a 20 lesson course because I just like, oh, I can have this one. Whereas normally I'm so busy, I'm like, okay, that'll do. Yeah. Whereas now I'm like, but that would work as well with that. And so it's like a little bonus here and a little bonus there. And I'm having more fun. I'm enjoying myself. And, you know, that's the one thing I've learned with COVID is it's been hard. I will not lie, I'm not the only one, I know that, but I've not had to deal with the client side of things, but it's been hard, just like it's been hard for everybody. But it's been a great learning curve, you know. It really has. And I can't wait to see how things grow. Yeah, for the industry is changing now, thank God for COVID, because now my business, where I've been doing this for so long, people are going, oh, that's why you do that. Oh, I see, it's beneficial to learn from home now. I see that. And rather than going, well, I don't know why Sam's doing it. When I first started doing online education, a lot of other educators, friends would say, you're going to destroy the industry, you're going to destroy education, you're going to ruin your business, no one's going to come on courses. I'm like, they still come on my courses, on my face-to-face courses, but it adds a depth to your education.
There are just some people that cannot travel massive distances for certain courses, but they want to do them really badly. They want to learn from a specific educator, but that educator is probably not going to come to the Highlands.
No.
Why should that person... No, but I was saying, no, I'm in Sheffield. No,
but still,
you know, again,
for me, that is I'd have to come up, stay overnight, course, stay overnight again.
Exactly.
Because for me, that's a massive journey because I'm on the south.
Yes,
I'm right down south. So, and it also means for me, I can now live anywhere
in the world.
The world, it does not matter. And there's you always do that, don't you? We sit and wonder where you're going to end up, and there's loads of places that I want to. My dad lives in Australia. I can go live in Australia for 3 months, and I can run my business from there. There are so many opportunities, and this COVID has opened the eyes to nail technicians who are tech phobic to things that they can do.
I think it's changed quite a lot of the world, hasn't it? I mean, the companies, the big companies that were saying we can't have people working from home because it's just not doable. Then all of a sudden they had to find a way to let their staff work from home. So I think the entire world is going to change into a different way of working, and I think it'll be so beneficial. Something we've been doing in the name industry for a long time, which is people come into it because they've got childcare issues, so they can work 2 hours in the morning and 4 hours in an afternoon, while or they can work after the kids have gone to bed. We've been doing that for pretty much the entirety of the nail industry, and now the rest of the world is finally catching up.
We're all in it together.
Yes,
I hope.
Well, some people not so much, but I think I'm really excited to see what the nail and the beauty industries are going to do now because of the way of changing. And it just means I get to talk to more people, more inspiring people for a podcast. So
no, I'm excited to continue listening, especially because you're talking about real things and not, sometimes we just get a bit over now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Sam's show, the Mel and Sam show is we try not to talk too much about nails.
Yeah.
So when we do the Mel and Sam show, we did a crafting one, and this week we're doing a tasting one. You know, we did different foods from around the world, and we're gonna, because there's only so much nail you can actually consume. So we're all brilliant, amazing, beautiful women, and we've got a brilliant story to tell.
Yeah. So, and sometimes, quite a lot, our story isn't just nails. We aren't just, our job isn't, nobody's job is who they are 100% of the time. And at some point you have to just do something that's not nails. So
yeah, no, I would say it's not necessarily. Marketing is my passion. It's my
raison d'etre.
Yeah, marketing is my addiction to courses. That I really like, and I'm fascinated by that. Nails, not so much. Education, people, being people, that I enjoy it, but I would say art is my passion. That is my I haven't managed to do any art today. That's my passion.
I talked to Carol Hailstone about this the other day, and she said it bubbles up. It literally bubbles up from inside her, and
my fingers itch.
She can't, and she's like, I have to go do something because it's literally, and I'm like, it's like art reflux. She's like, I have to.
True. My fingers literally itch. I just leave me alone. Let me just get on with this. I've got a half painted canvas up there, and I can see it's a doorway into some sea, and it's just bricks, and I need to put a door on it and plants and a pot, and I'm annoyed
because it's drawing you in.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it, it's in the corner of my eye, and I'm like, I've got to record some more for the Alcoholics course, and I can't even do it until the weekend. So that's it. That's what it is. So
okay. So thank you so much for joining me today, Sam. And anybody wants to find Be Inspired with Sam, it's Be Inspired online.
Yeah, beinspired.online is the website, and Facebook is just Sam Biddle _ Be Inspired. No, that's Instagram. No, hold on, wait. Instagram is Sam Biddle _ inspired. Facebook is Be Inspired with Sam Biddle.
Yes.
So
there's lots of places. Just type Sam Biddle into the socials, and
Sam Biddle. That's it. Yeah, Google me.
If you see somebody with red hair, you know you're in the right place.
That's it. Yeah, that's me.
So thank you for joining me, and I will speak to you very, very soon.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Nailtopia Inside with the Insiders. If you have enjoyed it, you can show me your support by heading over to buymeacoffee.com/Nailtopia, where you can help keep me in Yorkshire tea and savvy bee, enabling me to keep chatting to nail industry insiders with the stories you just need to hear. You can also check out what else Nailtopia is about on both Facebook and Instagram.